Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Dzkan Toys, where I do reviews and share my thoughts on some of my favorite toy releases. Today we have another Figma to look at, and it is the Figma 466 Jeanne d'Arc casual version. So let's check out the box and get the unboxing started soon. Also, remember to support the channel by liking and subscribing. I would really appreciate that. Alright, here we have our Jeanne d'Arc ruler casual version unboxed. While we check out the 360 view of this Figma, let me explain some background information about today's character and the toy company. As for Figma, I'm sure many of you guys are familiar with the line. If not, it is by the company known as Max Factory. They work closely together with Good Smile Company for distribution. In regards to the Max Factory company, the CEO is Max Watanabe and Masaki Aspie. Together, they aim to create highly articulated palm-sized figures with a focus on anime characters. As for our character today, known as Jeanne d'Arc, she's a character based on the mobile game Fate Grand Order, and it is a free-to-play Japanese mobile game developed by Delightworks using Unity and published by Aniplex. The game is of course based on Type Moon's popular Fate Stay Night franchise. The version we see here with her being in her casual outfit is actually more focused on her anime counterpart. So she indeed appeared in the anime known as Fate Apocrypha, which is one of the many anime adaptations of the Fate series. I believe it is on Netflix, so for those of you who are interested, you guys can check that out as well. Of course, Jeanne is such a popular character in the Fate franchise, that's why we have so many versions of her in different outfits. And this is one of the many Figma options that you guys can choose from in regards to having a Figma version of Jeanne. Now let's first check out the aesthetics and paint job of this figure. In terms of the aesthetics, Jeanne here in her Figma casual outfit version is represented very nicely. First of all, we have her school uniform-like design of her casual outfit and also her unique hairstyle. Here we have a closer look at Jeanne's unique hairstyle. Overall, it is represented and sculpted very nicely. In terms of the aesthetics of the body and the uniform, there's not much to say here. In regards to her outfit, it is basically based on her Apocrypha anime appearance, and after cross-referencing with images from the anime, they seem to be fairly accurate. For the body aesthetics, it is the typical Figma body, but with the upper proportions molded into her blazer outfit. Although the design of the outfit is not overly complicated, I'm sure we can all appreciate the overall clean look. In regards to the paint job of this Figma casual version Jeanne, if there is one phrase to describe it, I would say near perfect. Of course, the face is what we have come used to in terms of Max Factory releases. They usually nail the facial expressions and the printed anime style eyes. Also, for the blazers, I was a little bit worried when seeing these thin, tiny white lines in the design, because usually when they apply the paint for these thin lines at the factory, there may be a chance of paint bleeding. But after inspecting my figure, it looks pretty much near perfect, so that's very nice. Even for the hair color, the overall paint application is done pretty decently, that I would say is acceptable. For many of you guys who have watched my older videos before, you guys will know that I usually give factories a harder time in regarding to their paint on this type of hair color. What I mean is, usually when they apply this light yellow blondish hair color on these anime figures, there's a high chance that there will be some kind of paint defects. Usually there are some kind of black streaks under the yellow hair color. I don't know why, but many manufacturers, when they use this light yellow color, it's hard for them to get perfect. Of course, this figure release of Jeanne is not perfect either, but it's much better than the past examples that I have seen, so I would give it a pass. So far, all the things I have said about the paint job of this figure is mostly positive, so why is it that I would rate this near perfect paint job for Figma quality? Well, the small imperfection that is a little bit more noticeable in regards to my figure, I would say, is the skin color for the upper thighs. I'm not sure why, but it might not show that well on camera, especially on certain angles. there seems to be some kind of paint streaking, which make it look a little bit unnatural under the light. Here's an alternative angle for you guys to check out. Again, it doesn't show that well on camera, but in real life it's a bit more noticeable. I'm not sure if it's molding or paint streaking. There seems to be some sort of a line, especially when light hits it on a certain angle. Another word to describe it would be it's a bit uneven in regards to the circular shape of the upper thigh. Now let's move on to the articulation of the casual outfit Jeanne. First, let's check out the head articulation. We have the 360 rotation, up and down. Up is further than backwards due to the design of the hairstyle. While we're talking about the hairstyle, it also have many articulation points all over. Over here, we have a rotation, up and down. Depending on the angle, it may also be hindered by the design of the hair. At the midsection of the ponytail, we have another rotation. At the end of the ponytail, we also have a rotation. Moving on to the upper body, the arms can rotate 360, move up sideways. So the arm articulation is very nicely done because it's not really hindered by the design of the jacket. The design of the jacket is actually made out of rubber, even the shoulder pads here, so it's soft material. This way, the articulation is not hindered at all. As for the elbow joints, we have a bend this far, wrist 360, and side to side. For the waist, we have a 360 rotation, forwards bend, backwards bend. Backwards bend is a bit harder due to the design of the blazer jacket, but it may be possible. Okay, now let's move on to the lower body. As Jeanne is actually wearing shorts in this casual outfit, the lower leg articulation is actually very good. As we can see here, whoops, I popped the peg over here, but as we can see here, she can kick all the way up, no problem. This is better than a lot of the other Figmas. As for backwards, we can also go up about this far and even further if needed. Now for the knees, we have a bend like that. And finally, moving down to the feet, 360 ankle rotation up and down. Again, we have no toe pivot on this figure. Now what we have in front of us is all the accessories included in this release of Figma 466 ruler casual version of Jeanne d'Arc. Because Jeanne is in her casual outfit for this release, we don't have her typical accessories such as her sword weapon or her flag. What we do have is a travel briefcase over here in red-ish color. We also have a swappable upper piece for the body. This represents her once she takes off her blazer jacket. We have all the exchangeable Figma hands, an extra wrist peg in case we lose one or break one, storage bag to store all the accessories in typical Figma fashion, which is included in every Figma release now, and her Figma stand, which is also included in pretty much every Figma release. So let's take a closer look at the accessories in more detail. Let's check out all of the hands, starting with the two attached closed fists. Here we have two open palms, two of the relaxed looking open palms, two holding palms. So these are probably for holding an accessory such as a weapon, or in this release, the luggage handle. These are the two final hands included. We have on the right side, which is a pointing position hand, and on the left side is actually another holding hand for the left side. So altogether, we have two of the same accessory holding left hands. I'm not sure why they didn't give us two pointing hands instead, but gave us an extra left holding hand, but that's just something to note about. As for the face plates, I forgot to show you guys earlier in the shot where I showed all the accessories, but there is two extra face plates. First, the one we see in front of us comes straight out of the box attached to her. This one is a smiling casual face. The second face we have is a more concerned or speaking out face. The last option we have for the face swap is a shy looking face with blushings on the cheeks. Finally, we have here the two major accessories included in this release of the casual outfit Jeanne, the swappable upper body, and the traveling briefcase. Let's take a closer look at each of them. First, let's take a more detailed view at the luggage accessory. This is actually a very nice and welcoming accessory, as we don't have to use it for the Figma Jeanne per se. We can also use it for many other Figmas or similar sized action figures. In regards to the color separation, we have a few colors. The major color is a light red of the luggage. Then we have the brown for the buckles, the corners, the black for the handles up here, as well as the wheels at the bottom. Finally, the gold as a decoration for the lock buckles and the holder over here at the top for the handle. In terms of gimmick, this briefcase actually have some gimmick to it. Of course, sadly, for the wheels at the bottom, it's sculpted in, which means there's no rolling gimmick, but we can open the briefcase just like this. And to show you guys inside, it's actually hollow, which means we can store some small items inside. That's left up to you guys for your imagination of what you can put inside. Over here is very aesthetically pleasing as well. When we close the buckles over here, as you guys can see, although they're not real buckles, they line up to the locks over here and looks pretty realistic. Like that. Finally, we have another gimmick over here at the top. We can actually pull this handle out like that, so it's a pulling luggage. Sadly though, for this handle, initially when I saw this part, I thought we can lift this upper handle here as well, but it's actually molded in, so you can't move this part of the handle. But overall, this is a very nice piece of accessory. Now onto the last major accessory, which is the swappable upper body. Here's a closer look like that. In the back, we have her tattoo over here. So let's swap this on the figure and check it out. Here we have Jeanne after we swap the upper body. So let's take a 360 view at the results. As a result of the swap, what we end up with is her design after she takes off her blazer jacket. We retain the design of the tie over here, but what we notice over here, she becomes sleeveless for her arms. Of course, articulation may even be better now due to the sleeveless design. Also, for her wrist, she retains her bracelet over here, or a watch bracelet, I forgot what this was. Now the main selling point of this swappable upper body part is probably the back design. So just to show you guys, it's a very unique design because it shows all the back part of Jeanne and her unique tattoo. So let's take a closer look at that. In regards to the tattoo on her back, is in this reddish color and done very nicely as it's most likely printed on. This means that it looks very crisp and there are no paint defects. Now let's do some size comparisons. First, we have another Figma figure, which is Figma Yugi, Mayfex Deadpool, SH Figuarts Kaioken Goku. As we see here in typical Figma fashion, they're a bit smaller than other 1/12 scale lines, but they can work together in pictures or certain angles. Okay, next up I have a very interesting comparison for you guys to look at. We have the vanilla Jeanne in her flag wielding glory. Of course, the most popular Jeanne outer, another Jeanne outer, which is her Shinjuku version, the recently reviewed Berserker class Jeanne over here. Check out her review if you guys are interested, it's up on my channel. Finally, we have the swimsuit Jeanne over here in her archer class in the game. As you guys can see here, I probably have one too many versions of Jeanne, but anyways, you gotta collect them all, right? Here's another angle of all of the Jeanne army together. This one was actually a recent release as well for the summer Jeanne. I know I didn't do a review on her, but I might do one in the future. Let me know down in the comments if you guys are interested. Now for the final thoughts on the Figma release of casual version Jeanne. All in all, this release of Jeanne is very welcome, as Jeanne is such a popular character. I'm sure it prints money for Max Factory and the Figma line in general, so it's understandable why they would release another version of Jeanne. For me personally, as a fan of the character, I really did enjoy this release, as it does set itself apart from the other Jeannes that we've been getting with her casual outfit and the unique accessories of the luggage case, as well as the swappable upper body part, which shows off her unique tattoo on her back. On a side note, this is the only release of Jeanne in the Figma form that shows off her tattoo at the back. All of the other ones, we do not have that feature, so that may be a major selling point. In the end though, it's really up to you guys if you want to pick her up or not, because we have so many choices. Again, pick your poison. All of them are pretty nice. It really depends which version you really want. There goes the end of my review. If you like the content, please remember to subscribe and like the video. I would really appreciate that. As always, remember to stay young at heart. Until next time, we're out.